After the latest Rashee Rice news, will the Chiefs draft two receivers in a row? Can the Chiefs pull off the perfect dream scenario trade for Justin Jefferson? All of this next on Gridiron Gambit.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Let's work. Hey.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Gambit. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partners tonight, Rodney and Lonnie. How y'all doing tonight? Please, one at a time.
Feeling good, man. Blessed to be Friday.
Right.
So happy to make it to the end of another week. I'm feeling good too myself. I'm good.
That's great. That's great. Well, we definitely got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of things happened in Chiefs Kingdom this past week. Some things came up with Rashee Rice. We got some stuff that's going on with, possibly a ranking for like OT wide receiver in a cornerback, probably in the first 3 rounds. And pretty much everything else that we also saw on here as well too, in this somewhat perfect dream scenario for Justin Jefferson, which a lot of us have some strong opinions about. Love the player, but we don't know if we actually love the exact compensation that we would have to give up. But we'll talk about that later on in the show. But let's go ahead and go into our first topic. So, double dipping at receiver. Rashee Rice was charged with 8 counts and was arrested on Thursday. Actually turned himself in. So in Rod article, he actually discussed his thoughts about that. So who are some wide receiver duos you will actually be excited about drafting, or are you opposed to drafting more than one in this upcoming draft? So Rodney, let's go ahead and start with you.
So for me, I think it's all about who you get in that first round. That first receiver makes a very, very big difference. And it tells a lot on where you're trying to go as an offense. I think this is the moment where Brett Veach and Andy Reid has to create an identity for this offense with that first pick. And if they are already dead set on getting a wide receiver, that first pick make a very big difference, especially having Hollywood Brown already in. He's typically he pretty much coming in as a number 2, but with Andy Reid's system, he can be that number 1 target. But to me, I'm looking for someone that will fill in the role that they already need. I'm looking for someone like Xavier Legette or AD Mitchell, one of those two in that first round pick, and that will go based off of the combination. With someone that I like to compare with Xavier Legette, I said in the article is Luke McCaffrey. Um, he will be available later on in the draft, so you will have some space in between to get whatever else you need, get a linebacker in the second round or get a tackle or whatnot. So you will have a way we could wait to get a Luke McCaffrey because his skill set will pair up well with the Xavier Legette, but going and reaching up and getting, or hopefully he'll fall down to us as Adonai Mitchell. You have to add that speed immediately. If Xavier Worthy is available, trade it up and get him. Trade up and get him and put that type of speed and those type of skill set together. I've went into good details about those two in the article. Go on Substack and you can read all about it there. But it's all about that very, very first pick.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Lonnie, how you feel?
Yeah, I like Rod's choices there. Those are 2 guys that definitely stood out to me. Xavier Legette definitely being the bigger body type going into this draft. More built like a Debo Samuel type guy. I like him. I like that size. I like the stature. I like the build. Everything about it in this Andy Reid offense. I have heard that he will be. They said he's falling too later in the draft. So I like that, and I like the Donnie Mitchell. I just don't know if he'll be there. I know there are guys. A lot of guys are going to be reaching for wide receivers, and I feel like a lot of other teams are going to be reaching, trying to move up their boards to grab any type of explosive playmaker that they can. Being that this draft is loaded, full of playmakers. So I'm really I like both options. But I definitely think Leggett is probably going to be more of the chief speed, being that he's in those later rounds. I think Mitchell and Worthy, I just feel like teams are just going to super duper reach on those guys. So, but I definitely like Leggett. He's somebody that just grew on me more and more with his body type, the contested catches. I watched some different film on him with Steve Smith. Steve Smith said a lot of his stuff isn't always pretty. It's a lot of stuff is with the defender, but he goes up and makes the catches. You can see his body. He uses his body and frame and stature a lot when playing wide receiver. So I like Leggett a lot. Actually, he's grown on me more.
And see,
Yeah.
with
Mm.
Leggett, sorry about that,
No,
but
go ahead. Go ahead.
with Leggett, to me, like I saw what Steve Smith said, and I think he didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it for him. The only reason he has to do a lot of contested catches, one, is the scheme of the offense, and two, look at your quarterback now. The offense it was to me. I think he was in a bad situation, and he did a whole lot with a quarterback who got pressured the moment he catch the snap. He's already running out of the pocket. So now you put yourself in a bad situation. And so when he gets rid of the ball, he's already in a contested catch situation. But if you put him in an offense where he can just showcase his route running, showcase his speed for his size, he do run a 4.4 better, you showcase that speed and don't have to worry about my quarterback getting rushed and I could actually run route. I think this kid could be he could be great when in this offense, especially having a much better quarterback to play with.
Yeah. And I see him a lot. Pretty much anytime you're talking about a wide receiver, like a Xavier Leggett is actually coming up with Rod. So with a guy like that in the later rounds, we know the Chiefs like to find those type of individuals. We found Rashee Rice in the second round, right? So I mean it can happen. But the combos that I like the most in there, I did like the Xavier Leggett and then also the Lab McConkey. The reason why I like Lab McConkey, I just like his route running ability. I really haven't seen nobody who has that skill set for real on our Chiefs wide receiving group. I think we know Rashee Rice. He's definitely good at getting open and with the slants and with the short routes and pretty much a yak guy, right? And then we got speedsters such as like the Kadarius Tonys didn't have a great year, right? Um, who else we had at that time? A Cole Hardman, Richie James, but like Lad, he's like an actual guy. I feel like you can put him out there, tell him he can go through the entire route tree, and he'll do that for you. And adding that type of talent with Patrick Mahomes is going to help. I think excel his game a lot more, just because you have someone who like he's going to run exactly what he's told to run, and he's going to get open just because he's able to actually finesse and be able to use his leverage against those type of individuals. And then you got a guy like Leggett, where what's his size? What, around like 6'3", something like that, like a little bit, probably a little bit taller.
Yeah,
So
6'3", 6'4".
yeah, so just having that, we've been asking for that size as well too, and to get that in, I think that would be lovely for the offense. And then you add Rashee Rice back once he gets off his suspension, if he actually gets one. He should, but we don't know yet. But still, it would do a lot for the wide receiver room, in my opinion. I still have some doubts of them actually taking that route though. For some reason I just feel like they're not going to go wide receiver. I think they're going to really whatever is the best available at that time, still at 32. And if it makes sense for them to go in a different direction, I think they do. I think they do that instead. We know the Chiefs, they're not thirsty to make those type of moves or to actually reach at times. They'll be like, okay, if it's not what we want, we don't feel like this is a guy who he can possibly be there later. We'll go ahead and let him fall. So that's the combo I actually like the most. I would love to actually see it, but we'll see what happened. We're 2 weeks away, exactly 2 weeks away now. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to actually discuss it and actually see what the Chiefs pick up. Anything y'all actually want to add before we go ahead and move on to our next topic?
See, with Lad is the type of guy. It's like what you mentioned. Rasheed Rice can get open with the slants and the in and out routes. Lad
Hmm.
is a phone booth type of guy, and for his size, he looks smaller
Hmm.
on TV, but he's actually about 6'1", 6'2".
Hmm.
he got some size to him, but he reminds me of the of a bigger Wes Welker.
Hmm.
No, this is a guy who can play on the outside, and how the field. I put him on the big side of the field as that either as an X or a Z receiver on the big side of the field, and just give him that space to put in work. He's to me is a phone booth wide receiver. You don't want to press him because he's smart. He can easily swim and get upfield. You've seen that plenty of time with Georgia. I mean, you press him with it doesn't matter if you press him on the outside leverage, inside leverage. Either way, he swim and just it's a non-route automatic. He's gone, and he found ways to get open from there. Watching him in the Senior Bowl, you pick your poison of what you want to do with the kid. Yeah,
Hmm.
you don't want to play too far off because he ran an out route. I thought it was going in. I'm glad I ain't the defender because I would been on the ground too. And he went inside and just broke out. Then he cut up. The defender was nowhere in sight. He was already on the ground when he faked the inside route. But it's a simple fact. His route running is nasty. It's really quick, and I can really see him on that outside on a big part of the field.
It's basically elite. I mean, we saw it a lot on Twitter for a reason. I mean, X. Let me say that it was X reason. Every time I see clips of him, it's him, doing something bad, doing somebody bad, making them look
Mm.
bad. So I know that we like speed on the offensive side of the ball. I definitely would love to add to it, but at the same time, if we can get guys who can route guys up as well too, and they can get open, that's all that matters. We can get downfield, we can
Possession
go down
guys,
methodic.
man.
Yeah. So.
But also to add, when Brock Bauer, he's a good tight end. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
he's a great tight end. To me, might be a little too high. You know how everybody puts him up there. Um, I think Brock Bauer got his shine because of Lad. Lad had to get double teamed. Then that left Brock open a lot. So it was easy to get him. Lad was a problem with Georgia. Lad was an absolute problem, and I think Brock Bauer just is he ate off of that.
Mhm.
That's what I think. To me, I think Brock Bauer's a bit high only because of what Lad did with Georgia.
Yep. Well, we'll see what those guys have in store this upcoming season. Both projected to at least be first and second round guys. So we'll see them on other teams and see who can actually, hold up to that standard when they're not, utilizing one another. But at the same time, you might got somebody else great out there that can help you out as well too. So wish them both success. We see how it goes. But hey, it is what it is. 2 weeks away. And I can't wait. Before
Mhm.
we go ahead, over to our next topic, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Make sure you subscribe to our Substack as well too. That way you can get all the daily newsletters that comes your way. We do that Monday through Friday, and all if you want to become a paid subscriber as well too, go ahead and join and get those paid articles that we put out there and all the other paid content as well. We made it to 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Hey,
We got it.
moving on up.
We moving up. So please, if you're watching this now, you still haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so and click that notification bell. We're trying to get to 250 next, and we trying to get more people on the Substack as well too. We trying to get to 50 followers. So go ahead, tap in with us because we're trying to help everyone out, try to be there for y'all for Chiefs Kingdom, and we just love it. This is what we love to do. So let's go ahead and jump into our next topic. So we're going to go ahead and rank the OT, the wide receiver, and the quarterback position, what we need to see what's going on in this upcoming draft. I saw a draft board that had, a first, getting an OT first, then going wide receiver, and then going quarterback, cornerback in the first 3 rounds. So based off of that, would you like this order of drafting? And if not, how would you rank those three positions in terms of value? Now, Rodney, I know you want to go, but Lonnie, let's go ahead and start with you first.
Yeah, so I don't have any problem with that order. I really I don't think that I don't place any any one of those particular positions as a prioritized need for the Chiefs as of right now. It's just like a blaring, super duper big need. Now, I feel like if a tackle is there and it is available in the first, then I say we go get a tackle. But I don't see that with the tackles being that are in this draft. I don't see that being possible. Um, but wide receiver, I could see them possibly attacking that position. In cornerback, yes. But I don't see any, and I don't want to take it as arrogance. I don't want other people to take it as arrogance, but I don't see any position as like a blaring position of need. Okay, if we draft you, you're going to come in and you're going to start day one. Now, if you're just a super duper good player, a Trey Smith, a Creed Humphrey, a Trent McDuffie, I see, yeah, you probably will start day one, but I just don't. Yeah, I feel like anybody that's coming in, whether it be first or second round, is going to be more have time to get their feet wet. Maybe with the Rashee Rice situation, you sped up a little bit, but being the Hollywood Brown has came in, I feel like it buys you some buffer time there with that person as well. So, and in the cornerback room, like we said, we already spoke about, it's loaded, so it's buys you some time there as well. And Wanye Morris at the tackle position. So I mean, like, I don't say I don't want to say they're all super duper big needs, but I think any order is fine for it, whether it be wide receiver first, cornerback first, tackle first, whatever it is. I think they'll be fine with whatever they draft and what order they draft it in.
Right. What about you?
And I agree with that. I don't think there's too much of a big need that we absolutely need to get someone there. Um, and Lonnie got a point. To me, if I say the Chiefs trade up and get a guy, that's who's starting day one. They
Right.
going out to get someone day one. But if they picking someone at 32 or trading out of 32, they most likely picking that guy to really get into the development process. I think, I know a lot of people not that high on Wanye Morris, but given the circumstances, he was thrown in the fire at the most difficult part of the schedule. And you going up against literally all pro elite pass rushers. So some people might say, he really didn't do that. I think he did good enough.
Right.
To me, I really feel like if he had a good offseason practice and really come into OTAs as you are this starting left tackle, better yet, I got another guy who's coming in to bring in competition so I can get younger at that position. Hey, to me, that's get putting in value there. Um, and I would say wide receiver first. That's to me that if they want to trade up, if they trade up, like I said, they're gonna trade up to get someone either as a tackle, wide receiver. I don't see them getting no corner in the first round. That's just me. I don't see them even in the first 3 rounds. I don't see them getting a corner because that DB room is loaded. And on top of that, each DB don't play he just a safety, he just a corner. They all interchange and play a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people remember Jerry Sneed was a safety when he got
Right.
drafted. He just moved the corner because we had an injury at corner. And hey, wait, just put him out there. And now, hey, we just got a steal at corner because he used to playing in a box and covering tight ends and slot receivers. So they just put him on the outside. So to me, I'm thinking when you look at how the Chiefs use the DBs, it doesn't matter if you're a corner or a safety. They looking at DBs that who's long arms, tall. So you're looking at someone who's 6 foot and up, and who's going to tackle. That's who they looking at, and they go for that in their money rounds. That fourth, fifth, and sixth rounds. That's their money rounds, and that's where they be actually going for those type of guys. So to me, the first 3 rounds, I'm looking at either wide receiver and tackle in the first 3 rounds.
What's crazy is literally every DB but Trent McDuffie is long and tall. And out of all of them, Trent McDuffie is the best. Don't matter. Don't matter. Don't matter. But that's just a perfect marriage as well, too. And it made a lot of sense and it worked out well for the Chiefs. But honestly, really it's pick your poison with me. I don't care. You can go get you a linebacker if you want to.
Mhm.
Anything will add whatever you feel is going to add value to any position that we will actually probably need later on. Go ahead and do it. If you feel like it's smart to just trade back, you can do that as well too. I honestly do not care, just because this kind of like this situation that we're in right now. Um, is, somewhat better than what we have been used to in the past. I feel like we have all areas pretty much covered. We could argue probably potentially wanting to bring in a running back. But really, in my opinion, I'm fine with just, going into free agency and just picking up a guy due to the fact that, we found a gem in Isaiah Pacheco in the seventh round. We already had somebody in Deneric Prince that we were hyping up as well too, and I want to see him actually get a chance to have a better preseason because we might be fine. But I'm getting tired of picking up a lot of guys that we're not going to have eventually and end up doing something. Like, we're not going to pay everybody. So if you need some value for like in the future, go ahead and do that. Because right now your defense is pretty much set for the next couple of years. You okay? And I went defensive strong like the last two drafts, and guess what happened? You're good. Offensively, if anything, you probably just like, even though I said earlier I'm not tripping off of them having to go wide receiver twice, but maybe just go get wide receiver, overhaul, do an overhaul in that position, just like you did everywhere else, and then you find the gems that you can find right there, and then whoever you can keep, okay, these are guys who are gonna be with Patrick Mahomes for the next 3 to 4 years, and we're okay with that, and we'll be
Yeah.
satisfied. So mine's is a nice, short and sweet. It is what it is. I don't care how you rank them. Um, but yeah, whatever makes sense for the organization, go ahead and do it. And we talked about Wanye Morris as well too, and you brought up great points because that part of the season that he entered in, those was the best of the best. And I'm a rookie who was thrown in the fire. They brought in Donovan Smith. He had a neck injury. I had to come out there and step up, and he didn't do as bad. And when people come in, I watched him as well too. And when I'm watching him, I'm like, they getting him a couple times, but they're not bullying him as much as I was thought,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
And
holding his own.
I
Go
think
ahead.
it just says a lot about Andy Reid and the trust that he has in his offensive lineman, right? If it's a guy and he feels like he can put his feet to the fire with guys like Von Miller, with guys like who's the one over there in Cincinnati, um,
Um,
Hendrickson. So like
Henderson.
if he
Hmm.
feel like he can test him with like some of the best pass rushers in the league, I think we need to kind of just have some trust and know that this guy may be better than the average tackle that just played in the Andy Reid offense, or he may just be all we have at this position. But we all know that Lucas Niang was supposed to be a guy too, also that played the tackle position, that just kind of also got forgot about. So something about Wanye
Man,
Morris, Andy Reid liked and trusted to put him in at a very, very vital position during the thickest and hardest part of the schedule. So we gotta say, if you come in at that position, you're gonna have to battle with Wanye Morris. I think it's safe to say.
automatically, like whoever come in.
Yeah, but also to piggyback off what you said, Lonnie, is that when I know a lot of people, some people have something to say, talking about, oh, we need to go tackle number one. Not necessarily. If Wanye Morris was doing bad, he Andy Reid would have had formations to have a tight end over on his side to help chip off on the edge rusher to give Wanye Morris some type of help. He would have had a running back over there to give him some help. They didn't have that much chip over there. He was left on the island quite a bit. Mahomes rolled out to his, either shifted over to his right, and he left Wanye Morris out on the island by himself, and he held his own the majority of the time. And so, to me, and when you mentioned the Lucas Niang, the reason he got forgot about because of injury.
Literally.
That what took him out because of injury. And to me, I feel like Donovan Smith's neck injury had to get rushed, and it was rushed by him because he saw his spot, his money dwindle away. He saw that slowly slipping away because as Wanye Morris was getting comfortable, he was starting to that offense was starting to pick up, and Mahomes was having all the time in the world to throw the ball. It was all of, well, nobody ain't getting open because he just literally standing there. So, and come on now, this is supposed to be a quote unquote bad tackle. If your quarterback is standing there, evidently he got time in the he got all day to be throwing the ball. So
Mhm.
to me, I think Ryan Morris giving him that time. I think if they do go tackle the first two rounds, that guy has to put in some damn work. And he's going to have to put in some work. And to me, you better off trying to see if you can go ahead and beat Jawan Taylor at right tackle. 'Cause you gonna have to put in some work to try to get that left tackle spot.
Hmm. And it will be tough. And who's to say that the Chiefs might do what they did last year and wait until late into the offseason and go get a veteran offensive tackle to come fill in like they did before, with the little bit of money that they got left. Donovan Smith didn't really have a bad year. Injuries derailed
Mm.
some of that, but really it was fine. So they might be confident in that just because they know that they have Wanye Morris and they would like to see him actually go up and actually reach that potential that he can actually reach. And with his age as well too, we can have him around for a while. So that would be a perfect situation. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. This will be a dream scenario for everybody. Um, I would love it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like. I Let me say it. I want Justin Jefferson. I don't love this potential trade scenario that just been circulating the media. So pretty much what's going on. It's going on all over social media right now. They kind of did it last month and start doing it again just because Justin Jefferson. We're not knowing if he's actually going to get this long term extension like he wants. But pretty much this what the trade would be. The Chiefs will get Justin Jefferson in exchange for a 2024 first and second round pick, and also a 2025 first round pick in cornerback Trent McDuffie.
They smoking.
Mortgage the house. They said mortgage the
This
house.
is coming from a Chiefs page too.
They might as well say
Mortgage the house.
send the stadium to Dallas.
That's out of control.
I, I just want to say, just like the Stephon Diggs situation, do you guys understand that it's one team that's on every list for a guy like this that you can't go to?
They're not even thinking about us.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's one team on every list for every wide receiver that you cannot, especially if you're a game breaking, game changing wide receiver. And I think we are that team that's on this list for this man. I just don't. I don't care how much compensation. I just don't think they do that to themselves. They wouldn't do it to themselves. Like,
The only way Justin Jefferson is coming to Kansas City, it'll be the same way like Randy Moss went to New England. When he's on the tail end of his career, he good for about 1 or 2 years, and that's it. No, there's no way. There's not a single team that's going to allow Justin Jefferson to even think about visiting Kansas City to eat barbecue. That's not going to happen. Dude, you're not even going to block. No, you're not even renting a car to drive out of Minnesota to Kansas. What? No, back up north. You're not going down there. That agent going to ask for everything. Next, you know, you're going to see Arrowhead saying they moving to Minnesota. Man, there's no way. It doesn't matter. There's not enough first round picks that the Minnesota Vikings is going to say, "Oh, I'm gonna allow him to go to Kansas." Child, please.
Look. You take away Trent McDuffie, I don't care. I don't care. If you get him off of that, I don't care. I really don't. Like, and we talked about this before too, and some of us actually agree. If it's no player, and it's like, hey, you get this first round pick, and then a second round pick. I mean, we see.
it's
Do we not see what Carolina's going through right now? They're garbage. They don't even have a first round pick. I'm not even tripping off of the team that won 3 Super Bowls in this era as of now. And we wanted to be like, oh, we're going all in. Just take off Trent McDuffie. We're not doing that. We're not doing that part.
I think it's about what the league will let us do. I think at this point, I know that we
know the league ain't.
Even if
we
it's
just dreaming.
Look, and that's my thought. Even my thought process. Even if Trent McDuffie is in there, I mean, if you got a guy that's gonna go for 150 every game, and then you take him and give him Mahomes, and you pair him with Travis Kelce, you're gonna extend these two guys' careers by like 30 years. It's just not like you. It's no double coverage. It doesn't matter. If he's going for 150, Travis will not even play half the season probably.
Hollywood Brown is already there with him. You talking about putting Jay Jetta with Hollywood Brown? Good luck, bro.
And Rashee Rice coming back game 6, game 7. If we don't win the Super Bowl, this is basically like the which year was when Moss went to the Patriots and they lost 16-0.
I think that was
Let me see, 2007. Okay,
yeah.
2007 when they lost to the Giants. Yes. So that's crazy. I would love
Brady
it,
just closed his eyes and just threw the ball downfield. He knew Randy Moss was down there, wide
but don't
open.
but don't we want Travis Kelce to have his years extended as well too? I mean, that's a great conversation piece right there. If he's extended multiple years for that, I don't even think he would care having being at 900, 800. He already did it for 7 straight seasons. Like that's already done now. I don't care. We're about to win 2 more Super Bowls, 3 more Super Bowls off of this. Yeah, I'm riding this ride for a minute. Like I'm 30, what, 34, 35. Oh yeah, I can make it to 39 with that. With that, Hollywood
Jeez.
for what? That would see. But Lonnie, I know what you're saying.
I
It's like
just
the
don't.
league is not the league not doing that. But this is a dream. We're talking
It
about
is.
if they said here, this is what you get for you. Are you taking it?
Yeah.
Now I know I didn't exactly go with that because I took away Trent McDuffie, but I gotta negotiate back with you real quick. Like you can get these picks, but you're not getting Trent McDuffie. Now if it's just a picks, how y'all feel? We can just real quick.
Shit, they
Yeah.
If it was
ain't
just
gonna be 32 and 64. That's what it's gonna be.
So you
32 and
robbing them.
64.
You technically robbing them anyway. So
who's
I mean,
winning? Who's winning? Because this is exactly what they said. This is the dream scenario, and they said you give them this every time we're winning. You're getting 32, 64, 32.
Somebody gonna veto that trade. Somebody
and we
vetoing that
getting the
trade.
You're
generational
getting you're
talent.
getting you're getting that every year because you just gave it Justin Jefferson. Now we're winning like 3 more Super Bowls in a row. You're about to give us.
Man,
You're about to let Mahomes go Jordan mode
Uh,
before you
with,
retire.
with that running game, bro, there's no way you stopping that
We're not
offense,
running the
bro.
ball no more, right? We're done
they
No.
wouldn't
running.
even run the
We're
ball.
done running the ball.
Yeah,
We're done running.
I
Like
mean, they
Isaiah
gonna be
Pacheco.
playing your linebackers playing 15 to 20 yards back. Everybody,
Nah,
your
nah.
deepest safety is
Hold
30
on.
yards back.
And Cleveland don't like this. Lewis Reese Zammit, yeah, he's going to be a part of that lineup as well too. He go
Ah,
yeah. He's down there
out the
training with Mahomes.
backfield. Out the backfield.
He
bro,
training in
that bubble
Dallas.
screen gonna be legit, bro. That's a legit bubble screen.
Blocking. Get out there and block for Jettas, bro. We gotta let him go for postal. He going postal. 60 to the house.
Bruh.
We got all right. We have fun. We have fun. We have fun. Anything else y'all want to add to this before we go forward? I had to put this in here. It kept on going around. Had to talk about it. Yeah.
The
I,
Vikings, the Vikings ain't gonna take that, bro. They gonna realize, bro, all we getting is 32 and 64. Oh no. We getting robbed. It's not like
I
we trading them to the Bears.
yeah, I
Right.
love Jettas. And I would love to have him, but like he said, he's not. We're not the Bears. You're not sending him to Carolina, so you gotta send him to the Browns or something like. He would have to go somewhere where they know he's not gonna.
And we gotta have our own homegrown talent. We are there. Honestly, we'll probably never have a receiver of that caliber due to where we draft that every year unless we just hit. And it happens. You can find those type of guys in the later rounds. It's just hard. Honestly, with receivers coming into the NFL, every team is on top of that because it's a passing league, so they're thirsty for that.
I
So
know one thing. The league better not let Brian Thomas Jr. get somewhere around 20. Now that's a guy I see the Chiefs trading up and get, and that's a guy nobody do not want on this Chiefs team.
that's for sure. That's all
Oh
right. Yeah,
no.
yeah, that's for sure.
You got people right now that's really starting that argument of who is really better. You got people saying Malik Neighbors is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. But then you got people, in the SEC saying, but Brian Thomas Jr. might be better than Malik Neighbors. I said, oh no. let that guy fall down in the 20s if he wants. If he's at 19, the Chiefs are on the phone. Chiefs are on the phone with somebody if he's at 19.
I'll take it. Well, I don't know what we had to do to get up there. It shouldn't be the world. It's just 19. Well, nah, I mean, yeah, it's just 19. I mean, it's getting close to the 20s now in the 20s. So, but knowing it's the Chiefs and it's like, oh, this is a guy you really like. Let me get a little bit more. Let me get something out of that if they can. So, that'll be fun. I can't wait. 2 weeks. We are really 2 weeks away from the draft, and anything can honestly happen. The Chiefs, I'm not gonna lie. They had some great drafts last 2 years for sure. And really you can't be mad at any pick that they have made. So really whatever happens in this point of this is Veach's, kingdom. Once it comes to this point, this is where he shows like, hey, I really do this for real. This is what you do as a GM. We don't just hand out big contracts and all that money. You got to go find the guys in the draft that you're going to grow yourself and know that's going to be great. So we're gonna have a great time with it. But let's go ahead and go into our last topic for the evening. So we got some triggering transaction.
Mm.
So we gotta have some fun and talk about the negative a little bit. Since society is pretty much all negative now, and everyone wants to talk about, of course, negative things. What are some moves the Chiefs could make that will absolutely trigger you? Now, let me tell you something. It's really nothing that's going to trigger me. At this point, you're doing whatever just because it's fun. I mean, you don't have nothing else to do. They went out and got Carson Wentz as a backup quarterback. I, I mean, you
I
know,
forgot about that.
it's them kind of moves.
Yeah, like
It's what,
if they
yeah.
not
Like,
just doing whatever now at this point, like we don't know. That's basically what
just
he's
come over here,
saying. If
bro.
they
We
went,
help you get a Super
yeah,
Bowl
if they
ring.
went and signed Carson Wentz, then I
Mhm.
don't I don't think they care too much. They in the back like this. That to whoever want a 1 year deal. Now you're not
Mhm.
getting a multi-year deal
Oh yeah,
unless you like
nah.
under about 23.
Wentz still want to be a starter. To be honest, he still want to be a starter. He gonna try to show out in the preseason to, probably potentially get traded to a team that's looking for some. We always have a quarterback or two that kind of gets hurt, and then they're figuring out what they're gonna do for the
Atlanta.
start of the season. Atlanta for sure.
Uh,
So we don't know. And Kirk Cousins, he's 36, right? 36, 35. He we
Bruh,
don't know what happened. And you're coming off of an ACL injury as well too. At that age, that's tough.
you talking about triggering? That triggered the hell out of me. And I'm with Cam Newton on this. There's no way on God green earth you got this quarterback. What did he do? What did he do? Coming off, who's old, coming off a very serious ACL injury, you threw the bank at him?
Bro, his agent is, hey, don't worry, his agent's top tier.
No, his agent is Donald Trump, bro. That's what it is. There's no way you pulling something off like that, bro. Come
Master
on, bro.
class. Agent is a master class.
Bro,
Anytime you get
that agent
Jim
got some pictures.
Rosenhaus.
That agent
guaranteed
got some pictures
contracts,
and blackmailing, bro. That's what happened. He blackmailing. Come on now,
give me
really?
some
And
Kirk Cousins.
man. But the move to me that would trigger me, and I know it's going to happen. People ain't going to like it, but it's going to happen. They going to trade Creed Humphrey. They going to trade Creed Humphrey just like they trade Rodney Hudson, just like they trade Mitch Morris. Creed Humphrey is gone. They going to trade Creed Humphrey,
That's
and it's going
hey,
to hurt a lot of people. It's just either they going to trade Creed Humphrey or they trading Trey Smith. Whoever one has a higher value, but I think Creed Humphrey might have a higher value. Jason Kelsey is retired now. Creed Humphrey is the best center in the NFL. The Chiefs had already two of them with Mitch Morris and Rodney
and
Hudson.
Roger Hilson. Yeah. Well, one
Gone.
thing we do, we find centers.
They will
Just like
find
we
a
said,
center.
Legarius need. I'm not gonna lie, we can find a center as well too. A lot of people don't like it. Like I see where you're going with that. I see where
Yeah,
you're going with that. What about you, Lonnie? Like,
what's crazy is Rod. They'll probably share them same sentiments. We got into a big fiasco about Trey Smith, and him getting paid or him not getting paid, him getting paid or not getting paid. So I think that might be true. That's let Dale tell it. One of them do gotta go.
Because they are gonna go. Somebody going. Somebody going. I'm sorry.
But
Somebody going.
I don't know if it's. I think it may be Trey Smith. But I think this is one that trigger me. If Trent McDuffie doesn't get paid, because that means he's not. We are officially a DB factory. We are not paying anybody that we drafted at that position. We are going to be Bill Belichick esque. We are going to draft corners and we're going to make corners. So
got a
if they
point.
don't sign, I feel like because Veach has shown us he will sign his guys, the guys that he drafted, because he signed Dana to a multi-year deal this year. He will sign his own guys. If he doesn't pull the trigger, and I feel like go ahead and max out Trent McDuffie, I'll just say that we are going to be the new DB factory of the NFL.
We
Um,
I mean,
DBU. We
no matter
DBU.
the
no matter
the
who's
pick,
drafted, it'll be
the
a revolving
piggyback
door.
on that, to piggyback on that, I don't think I think people need to be reminded the Chiefs might have to be left with a decision: pay McDuffie or pay Karloftis. They both
How about
first
the other
round
first
in the
rounder?
same draft. Somebody, both of them most likely gonna get their 5th-year option. But who's going to get paid? And you get and they it's sad they both at a premier position.
If history shows it, yours Karlaftis. Deepest
Ah,
end.
Some
Well,
hard
yeah,
decisions,
we
though.
just had this right now. Chris Jones or Jerry Sneed. Chris Jones, but Chris Jones was a generational talent, somebody who was literally behind Aaron Donald. George Karlaftis, he's getting better each year, each and every year. Trent
yeah, because
McDuffie came out really a dog, to be honest. That first game of the season, he was looking good before he got hurt. Came
Yeah, but
back
he
after
ain't.
the injury was solid.
Yeah,
And
but that's why I said that's the only knock is going to be with Trent is that he didn't play that first year.
he's an all pro.
Car,
He's an all
Car,
pro. He's an all pro.
yeah, but Karlaftis had 10 sacks in his second season. I think he led the team after a
I
while.
understand. I understand. Now, he was leading the team because Chris Jones had to get that last sack to tie him because it was like him and CJ, yeah, were at 10.5. So he got there, and the year before he was like 6.5. But he kind of picked it up at the end of the year and then had a great postseason. But my thing is Trent McDuffie, he has an argument of all pro, something that Legere Sneed didn't have. And
mhm.
he is playing at elite level. And if we're going to be honest, like I think after this next season, he might be considered a top 5 cornerback in the league because they're going to start watching him and they're going to watch him like they did Legere Sneed, and they're going to see like this guy doesn't let nobody really get behind him. He's always playing the ball. He's a great tackler. He reads very fast. He has all the tangibles as someone who's going to be a top cornerback in the league.
Mhm.
So that's
Just the
going to
only
be
thing he don't
his,
have the
you know,
interceptions. He
that's
just
all.
don't have the interception. But you talking
Got a
about
strong arm.
a perfect blitzer? I take that over interceptions, man. I take the sacks over interceptions.
Because really your defensive back group is only as great as your defensive line, right? If they're getting back there,
Hmm.
they all work together. But if you're making a quarterback uncomfortable and he's throwing up ducks, while also not really being able to have the time to be able to let his wide receivers, do their routes, get open, have that time, it can be some issues. So it's interesting. Like we will see how a lot of that stuff go in the future. But I think we had some fair points for some triggering transactions. I said none for me. Pretty much, I find honestly, I find a way. I find a positive in everything. So that's why I don't really have those issues all the time. And when you dealt with the Chiefs in the early 2000s, in the early 2010s, we'll be fine. Anything we can deal with anything. So anything else y'all want to add before we go ahead and close it out?
Nope, it's got to be
Well,
somebody. Got to be the fall guy. So we all
mhm.
know that we love our team to death. We are in the middle of a dynasty. On these pieces are not going to be able to stay together forever. So um, we just gonna see where the dominoes fall. But we love the team. But we all know, and we all analyze and watch here. Um, Pieces are going to slowly start going away. But it's gonna be crazy to see how it happens, but that's just what happens.
Yeah, whew, it's gonna hurt people's feelings when they talk about Nick Bolton getting traded. So it, guys ain't gonna be here for long.
Thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Gridiron Gambit. We definitely appreciate everyone for supporting the channel and also supporting all our social media pages as well too. Don't forget to follow all those pages as well too, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 250, so help us out. Help us out. But that's all we have for you for this episode of Gridiron Gambit. Talk to you on the next episode.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom.